Quick question. Which of these products is legally required to tell you what's inside? The strawberries. Even organic produce has to list the farm, processing date, and any treatments. This $40 bottle of wine? Nothing. No ingredient list. No additives disclosed. And here's why. Wine falls under the TTB, the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, not the FDA. They don't require wineries to tell you about the 76 legally approved additives they can use. 76 additives, including a purple dye called Mega Purple that's used to fake the color of cheap Cabernet, fish bladders to clarify white wine, and a chemical cousin of antifreeze to sweeten dessert wines. If you've ever wondered why that $8 bottle of Merlot gives you a splitting headache, but a $25 organic Pinot Noir leaves you fine the next morning, this video is your answer. Let's uncork the truth. Wine used to be pure. For thousands of years, it was just crushed grapes and wild yeast. Romans drank it. Monks made it. Your grandparents probably had a bottle at Sunday dinner. But somewhere between the 1970s and today, industrial winemaking changed the game. Mega wineries realized they could cut costs and boost production by adding things that never came from a vine. Sugar to boost alcohol. Tartaric acid to fake balance. Oak chips instead of actual barrel aging. And chemical dyes to make your wine look more expensive than it is. Today, I'm exposing 12 specific wines I personally avoid. 6 reds and 6 whites. And because I'm not here to just scare you, I'm giving you 7 better alternatives you can actually find at Total Wine, Costco, or even Trader Joe's. Quick disclaimer. I'm not a sommelier or a doctor. I'm someone who started reading labels, researching additives, and asking uncomfortable questions. Let's start with 2 minutes of science, then we'll hit the bottles. Here's the 2-minute chemistry lesson that explains everything. Natural winemaking is simple. Yeast eats the sugar in grape juice and produces alcohol and CO2. That's it. The flavor comes from the grape variety, the soil, and time. But when you're a massive winery, producing millions of bottles a year, you need consistency. You can't wait for nature. So you manipulate it. Here are the big 3 tricks. 1. Mega Purple. This is a hyper-concentrated grape juice dye made from ruby-red grapes. It's so dark, 1 gallon can color 500 gallons of wine. Cheap Cabernet, Merlot, and Pinot Noir use it to fake depth and richness. The problem? It adds sweetness and masks the true character of the wine. You're drinking makeup. 2. Chaptalization and sugar additions. In Europe, adding sugar is tightly regulated. In the US, it's wide open. Winemakers add cane sugar, beet sugar, or grape concentrate to boost alcohol content, especially in cheap wines from hot climates where grapes are overripe and unbalanced. The result? A syrupy, artificially boozy wine that gives you a faster buzz and a worse hangover. 3. Sulfites and stabilizers. Sulfites occur naturally, and a small amount is fine. But mass-produced wines add extra sulfur dioxide to extend shelf life and prevent spoilage. If you're sensitive to sulfites, that's why you get headaches, flushing, or sinus issues. Add in things like Velcorin, a sterilizing agent, potassium sorbate, a preservative, and isinglass, fish bladder protein used for clarification. And you've got a drink that's more science experiment than fermented fruit. Bottom line, when wineries cut corners, your body notices. Now let's name names. These are the 12 wines I personally avoid. I'm breaking them into reds and whites. Let's start with the reds. Number 6 on the red side, Apothic Red. This is a winemaker's blend from E&J Gallo, one of the biggest wine corporations on earth. Apothic is designed to taste like liquid dessert. And how do they do that? Residual sugar and mega purple. This wine has nearly 16 grams of sugar per liter. That's almost 4 grams per glass. For reference, dry wine has less than 1 gram. It's marketed as smooth and approachable. What it actually is? Candy wine for people who don't like wine. If you want something fruity and rich, buy an actual Zinfandel from a real winery, not a chemistry set with a spooky label. Number 5. Barefoot Cabernet. The beach-themed budget king. Here's the problem. Barefoot sources grapes from California's hot Central Valley, where yields are massive and quality is low. To make this drinkable, they add sugar, tartaric acid to balance the sweetness, and yes, mega purple to make it look like real Cabernet. It's $7 because it's made at industrial scale with industrial shortcuts. If you want affordable Cabernet, spend $12 on Columbia Crest Grand Estates. You'll actually taste grape, not syrup. Number 4. Yellowtail. The Australian export that became America's best-selling import wine. Yellowtail is made for mass appeal, which means it's engineered to be inoffensive. They harvest grapes by machine from massive vineyards, ferment in stainless steel tanks the size of swimming pools, and adjust the wine with acid, sugar, and tannin powder. Tannin powder, yes, that's a thing. Instead of letting the wine naturally extract tannins from grape skins during fermentation, they add synthetic tannin to fake structure. The wine tastes like nothing. It's harmless, but it's also pointless. You can get better Australian wine from Penfolds or even McGuigan for the same price. Number 3. Ménage à Trois. Another Gallo product with a cheeky name and questionable contents. This is a red blend, which is wine speak for we blended whatever was cheap. It's heavily sweetened, around 12 to 14 grams of residual sugar, and loaded with oak chips instead of being aged in actual barrels. Oak chips are exactly what they sound like. Wood scraps dumped into a tank to fake barrel aging. It gives the wine a vanilla flavor without the $50,000 cost of French oak barrels. It's the Kool-Aid packet of winemaking. If you like fruit-forward blends, try the Prisoner or Orin Swift Abstract. They're pricier, but they're the real deal. Number 2. Woodbridge Pinot Noir. And yes, it says Robert Mondavi on the label. Here's the trick. Robert Mondavi built his reputation on premium Napa wines, but after his winery was bought by Constellation Brands, they launched Woodbridge, a budget line that trades on his name but has nothing to do with his original vision. Real Pinot Noir is delicate, elegant, and expensive to make. Woodbridge Pinot is made from Central Valley grapes, rushed through fermentation, and adjusted with acid and mega purple to mimic the color of real Pinot. It's not Pinot Noir. It's Pinot Noir cosplay. If you want real Pinot under $20, try La Crema or Mark West. Both are legitimately sourced from cooler climates. And the number 1 red wine to avoid? Boxed wine. Franzia, Black Box, Boda Box, all of it. Look, I get the appeal. It's cheap. It doesn't go bad. You can pour it from a spigot. But here's what you're drinking. The lowest grade grapes from the hottest, cheapest regions, fermented as fast as possible, stabilized with maximum sulfites and preservatives, and packaged in plastic-lined cardboard. The wine inside a box of Franzia costs about $2 per bottle equivalent. You're paying $4 per bottle for the box and the convenience. If you want cheap wine, buy a $10 bottle. At least it came from a winery that cares a little bit. Now for the whites. Number 6. Barefoot Moscato. The gateway wine for people who don't like wine. Moscato is naturally a semi-sweet wine. Barefoot takes it to candy levels, around 64 grams of residual sugar per liter. That's more than Coca-Cola. To stop fermentation early and preserve that sugar, they add potassium sorbate and extra sulfites. The result? A wine that tastes like Sprite with alcohol. And because it's so sweet, it's easy to drink too much, which means a guaranteed headache. If you genuinely like Moscato, try Sirocco or La Spinetta from Italy. They're sweet but balanced, not cloying. Number 5. Sutter Home White Zinfandel. The accidental wine that launched 1,000 bad dates. White Zin was created by mistake in the 1970s when a Zinfandel fermentation got stuck, leaving residual sugar. Sutter Home realized people loved it, so they industrialized it. Today's version is made from the cheapest grapes, stopped mid-fermentation with sulfites and sorbates, and adjusted to be as sweet and pink as possible. It's basically wine cooler without the carbonation. If you like rosé, buy actual rosé from Provence. It's dry, refreshing, and doesn't taste like liquid bubblegum. Number 4. Kendall-Jackson Chardonnay. The Vintner's Reserve. KJ Chardonnay is famous for being buttery and oaky. But here's the secret. Most of that butter flavor isn't from malolactic fermentation, a natural process that converts tart malic acid into creamy lactic acid. Instead, they use diacetyl, a butter-flavored compound that's also used in microwave popcorn. They also add oak chips for that vanilla flavor instead of aging in actual barrels. You're paying $15 for fake butter and fake oak. If you want real buttery Chardonnay, buy Rombauer or Cake Bread. Yes, they're $30 plus, but they're authentic. Number 3. Cupcake Prosecco. The brunch special. Real Prosecco comes from the Veneto region of Italy and is made using the Charmat method, a second fermentation in a tank. It's fresh, light, and delicious. Cupcake Prosecco is made by a massive California winery owned by the Wine Group. They source grapes from wherever's cheapest, carbonate the wine artificially to save time, and add extra sugar to appeal to American palates. It's not Prosecco. It's sparkling wine from California with an Italian-sounding name. If you want real Prosecco, look for DOC or DOCG on the label. Those are legally protected Italian designations. Number 2. Cavit Pinot Grigio. The fake Italian. Cavit markets itself as authentically Italian, and technically it is. It's made in the Trentino region. But it's owned by a massive co-op that prioritizes volume over quality. They machine harvest grapes, process them in industrial facilities, and adjust the acidity and flavor profile with tartaric acid and ascorbic acid, vitamin C as a preservative. The wine is sterile filtered to remove any character, leaving you with water that vaguely tastes like grapes. Real Pinot Grigio should be crisp, mineral, and refreshing. Cavit is just wet. Try Santa Margherita or Alois Lagerter if you want the real thing. And the number 1 white wine to avoid? Cheap champagne that isn't champagne. Real champagne comes from the Champagne region of France and is made using the méthode champenoise, a labor-intensive, expensive process. Yellowglen, André, and Cook's are not champagne. They're sparkling wines made with the cheapest grapes, artificially carbonated and loaded with sugar. André literally costs $4 a bottle. You know why? Because it's not wine, it's a science project. If you want affordable bubbles, buy Spanish cava or French crémant. Both use traditional methods and taste like actual sparkling wine. All right, I just destroyed your wine rack, but I promised you better options. Here are 7 categories you should be buying instead: affordable, widely available, and actually good. Number 7. 2 Buck Chuck has an organic line now. Specifically, the Charles Shaw Organic Cabernet or Chardonnay. USDA organic certification means no synthetic pesticides, herbicides, or chemical fertilizers. It's still cheap wine, but it's clean cheap wine. For $4, this is the best value on the planet. Number 6. Bonterra. This is a California winery fully committed to organic and biodynamic farming. Biodynamic is even stricter than organic. It treats the vineyard as a living ecosystem. No chemicals, no shortcuts. The wines are USDA certified organic and taste clean and pure. Their Cabernet and Chardonnay are both around $15 to $18 and available at Total Wine, Whole Foods, and even some Targets. Number 5. Sokol Blosser from Oregon. They were one of the first wineries in the U.S. to go fully organic back in 2005. Their Evolution line is a white blend that's fresh and funky. Their Pinot Noir is elegant and pure. No additives, no manipulation, just grapes, yeast, and thyme. Number 4. Frey Vineyards. This is the only major winery in America making wine with zero added sulfites. If sulfites give you headaches or sinus issues, this is your answer. Frey has been organic since 1980 and makes everything from Cabernet to Petite Syrah. It's around $12 to $15 and available online or at natural food stores. Number 3. French Regional Wines. Specifically Burgundy for Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, or Côte de Rhône for blends. France has strict winemaking laws. They don't allow mega purple, they limit sugar additions, and they require wines to be made from specific grapes in specific regions. You can get a solid Côte de Rhône for $12 to $15. It'll blow away any $12 California blend. Number 2. Spanish Wines. Rioja for Tempranillo-based reds, Ribera del Duero for more intensity. Spain has a wine classification system called DO and DOCA that guarantees traditional methods. These wines are aged in actual oak barrels, not chips. They're balanced, food-friendly, and affordable. Marqués de Cáceres Rioja is $12. CVNE Crianza is $15. Both are incredible values. And the number 1 safest wine category, natural wine. Natural wine is made with organic or biodynamic grapes, native yeast, and zero additives. No sulfites added or minimal. No filtration. No fining agents. Walk into a local wine shop, not a grocery store, and ask for natural or low-intervention wine. Brands like Donkey and Goat, Brock Cellars, and Liu Di are great starting points. Yes, it costs more, but you're drinking wine the way it was made for 6,000 years. Just grapes. Here's the bottom line. The wine industry doesn't want you to ask questions. They want you to buy based on price, label design, or a cute animal on the bottle. But now you know what to look for. Every dollar you spend is a vote. When you buy mass-produced, additive-loaded wine, you're telling them, I don't care. But when you buy organic, natural, or traditional wine, you're demanding transparency. Here's your action plan. I've put a full list of recommended wines in the description, organized by where to buy them. Trader Joe's, Costco, Total Wine, local shops, whatever. If you want me to do this same breakdown for whiskey and expose the caramel coloring scam in cheap bourbon, drop a comment that says whiskey. If you want tequila, comment tequila. Hit subscribe if this helped you drink smarter. Cheers to better wine, and I'll see you in the next one.